Okay, all right. Once more again, you're welcome to our YouTube channel. Okay, so this is science paper 2. That means it's chemistry. Okay, and as you can see, this is 8th November 2018. That simply means this is the paper that was written in 2018. Okay, as paper 2. All right, so we are going to solve this question right here. We're going to solve this question paper, but then we are going to start with section B and section C. As you know, section A has got about 20 multiple choice questions. So we are going to take a method of first of all solving the section B, and then section C, and then lastly section A. As you know, section A of this paper contains about 9 questions, which are A1 up to A9. All right, excuse me, section B actually contains 9 questions, which is B1 to B9. Then section C has got 3 questions, which is C1 to C3. All right, that means you have to answer all the questions in section B, which are 9 questions. Then you choose 2 questions from section C out of the 3 questions which are there. All right, so we are quickly going to go to section B, and we'll start with B1. Okay, here we are. Okay, all right, so here we are. Okay, all right, so as you can see here, that says section B, 45 marks, and then you have to answer all the questions in this section. So it says answer all questions in this section. Write your answers in the spaces provided on the question paper. So we have B1A, which says describe the type of movement of particles in Roman numeral 1 solids and Roman numeral 2 liquids. Okay, all right, so we are going to quickly describe how particles move in liquids and in solids. So we are quickly going to start with the first one, which is in solids. Okay, so in solids, how do particles move? So in solids, particles move by vibrating. So we'll say particles move by vibrating. Okay, particles move by vibrating at fixed positions. Okay, at fixed positions. So that's it. Particles move by vibrating at fixed positions. Then we'll go to Roman numeral 2, which is where we have to describe how particles move in liquids. Okay, so in liquids, how do particles move? Also, particles move by, so particles move by vibrating rapidly. Okay, that is, particles move by vibrating rapidly. So rapidly there. Okay, rapidly over short distances. Okay, over short distances. Okay, from one position to the other. From one position, so from one position to the other. So you can see the difference in solids. It's actually at fixed positions in liquids from one position to the other. All right, then after that, we're going to go to B, which says, if you read through B, it says, chemistry has been found to improve the livelihood of mankind. And then state any two benefits of chemistry to mankind. Okay, number one, what are we going to say chemistry has done to mankind to improve the livelihood of mankind? So number one, we can say chemistry has made it easy. Chemistry has made it easy for mankind to discover and use drugs. Okay, drugs like medicines. Okay, that means the knowledge of chemistry has helped mankind to do that. Drugs like medicines. Okay, then apart from that, what else has chemistry done to mankind to improve the livelihood of mankind? Okay, also chemistry has also been used to improve farming methods. Okay, farming methods. As you know that the knowledge about chemistry, the knowledge about dealing with acids, bases, and salts can actually be applied in agriculture. That means you can actually use the knowledge to treat the soil when you're farming. Okay, so chemistry has also been used to improve farming methods. Okay, so we're going to flip and go to the next page where we're going to solve our second question in this section. So that means we are going to look at question 2, which is supposed to be B2 in this section. So remember, section B has got questions named as B1, B2, and so on. So right now we are looking at the diagram. The diagram below shows one of the laboratory apparatus. Okay, so what we have here is a diagram of an apparatus that can be used in the lab for separation techniques. So there's a question which says, name the apparatus. Okay, that is A. So this apparatus is known as a separating funnel. So we are going to write down here separating funnel. Okay, and we can go to the next question, which is B1, and it says, state the use of the apparatus shown above. Okay, that is 1 mark. State the use of the apparatus shown above. So this apparatus, known as a separating funnel, is actually used to separate. So we can say it is used to separate immiscible liquids. Okay, it is used to separate immiscible liquids. So immiscible liquids are liquids that cannot mix completely. So the apparatus above is used to separate immiscible liquids. All right, and we can move to the next question, which is B2, and it says, suggest two substances that can be separated by the apparatus shown above when combined. So, two substances that we can think of that are immiscible, meaning that cannot mix completely, are of course water and oil. So we are going to say water and oil. When you mix water and oil, they cannot mix completely because they are immiscible. So we can separate them using the separating funnel. We are done with question 2, which is B2, and now we are going to question 3, which is B3. So B3 says, in chemistry, substances are classified as elements or compounds. And A says, distinguish an element from a compound. We have 2 marks. Distinguish an element from a compound. Okay, so we are going to distinguish between an element and a compound. Okay, so an element is a pure substance. So let's say an element is a pure substance, which cannot be split into 2 or more simpler substances. By any means. And it contains one type of atom, while a compound is a substance consisting of 2 or more elements, that are chemically combined. Okay. All right, that is how we can distinguish between an element and a compound. And we are done with that part. We are now going to B, which is showing us a diagram. So as you can see, there's a diagram here, which is in form of a table, and it says, the table below shows the chemical formulae of some substances. As you can see in the table, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these are the substances. So the question here says, from the table above, classify substances into elements and compounds, meaning the elements that we have in here, we need to classify them as either compounds or elements. So out of this table, the ones that we can classify as compounds are NH3, NH3, which is ammonia gas, and SO2, which is sulfur dioxide gas. The ones we can classify as elements are H2, which is hydrogen gas, and O2, which is oxygen gas. All right, we are done with that, and we are going now to the next question, which is on this other page. So here we have B4, which says, study the reaction scheme below. So in this reaction scheme, we have dilute sulfuric acid, then we have magnesium metal, on top of the arrow, which points towards salt A plus gas B. This shows a reaction scheme actually. So this tells us that dilute sulfuric acid reacts with magnesium metal to form salt A plus gas B. Alright, let us look at the question. The question says identify substances A and B. So what is substance A? Now we can only name substance A by looking at the acid and the metal reacting. So if the acid is dilute sulfuric acid and the metal is magnesium metal, then salt A is supposed to be magnesium sulfate. So identify substance A, that is magnesium sulfate. All right. And B, that is gas B, that is supposed to be hydrogen gas, because when a metal reacts with an acid, hydrogen gas is produced or given out. So gas B is hydrogen gas. All right, we can move on to the next question, which says magnesium sulfate is an ionic compound. Write the chemical formulae of all the ions that form magnesium sulfate. So the ions that form magnesium sulfate are magnesium, which is Mg. Okay, these are positive ions, and SO4, which is sulfate ions, which are now the negative ions. All right, we can move on to the next question, which says write a balanced chemical equation. Write a balanced chemical equation showing state symbols for the reaction between magnesium and dilute sulfuric acid. So the reaction, which is a balanced chemical, which shows a balanced chemical equation, rather is supposed to be magnesium metal, which is a solid, plus or reacting with dilute, that is dilute sulfuric acid. So dilute sulfuric acid, that is the formula there, SO4, which is aqueous. Okay,